Hey, and welcome to my workspace. This is a converted garage turned beautiful studio. So it's taken a little while to get here. I've been in the industry for over 10 years and I've worked sort of from, the kitchen bench to a spare room, and now I've got this beautiful space. So I just want to show you around and show you all the different little essentials that I've found over the years to be really handy for a workspace, as well as show you the furniture that I feel like is a bit of an essential with having a smaller space that you need to kind of switch around all the time for different reasons. So I do weddings and events and dinner parties, photo shoots, that kind of thing, as well as teaching. And then when I'm teaching or if I'm filming something for my online store or my online school, I need to kind of have a little bit more space. So first of all, I've got my benches that are beautifully custom made tops on some vintage bottoms that we found, and then we've put some casters down the bottom here. And the reason why I'm pointing those out is because, first of all, the size is really important. Having something that's like big enough is really important, but at the same time, you don't want it too big so that you can't move it around or you can't kind of use your space for other things and have them pushed aside. So that's why you really want to try and put things on wheels if you can. And then they also, of course, have lockers. So I can push them together and make a big table if I'm teaching a few people or if I just need a bigger space. Then I also have up here, I've got like beautiful white walls, which I like, that works with my style and my branding. But then I also have curtain rods so that I can switch out and have different backdrops over here. I find this is sort of my best light in the space. So I think that's really important to consider is where you're going to be taking photos and content, because of the fact that, of course, that's one of the most essential parts of trying to get clients and sharing your work. So for me, this is my space, and over here I try and keep clear as much as I can so that I can switch out these curtains or fabrics. Then I have, of course, like a trestle table. Again, as I say, it's something that I can move, it's foldable and I can get it out of the way, but then I can put it out to do some content or if I'm shooting some of my arrangements. Over here, I have all of my vases, all my props, everything happening here, and then cute baskets to keep things in just to try and keep it a bit organized. I have everything from my own stuff from my online store that I've designed and I have made in Sri Lanka, or vintage pieces, glassware, plates, everything, so that I can just sort of have it nice and handy and ready to go when I'm styling and shooting something. Then along and underneath my benches, I've got, of course, more space and storage, and all under here, more storage, which you don't really need to see because it's probably not that tidy right now, but up here, more storage for vases. So this is an aesthetic thing as well as the fact that I actually use all these, so they're nice and handy and close by when I need them. This is kind of my messy corner, but again, more storage that's on wheels, so I can move this out if I need to, and then more curtains to cover all of the mess behind there. This is most of my photography gear and even more backdrops, seeds, everything that has to do with my work in some way, shape or form. And then of course I have a little kiln and a pottery wheel, just because I never really get to that at the moment, but this is my space for it when I do. Over here I have more backdrops, and you might be able to also tell here curtains like hanging up like this, so that I can kind of use this space as much as I can by having something covering everything if I need to shoot over in this way. So yeah, more backdrops, plywood boards that are painted in different sample colors that you just get from like the hardware store. I've made a couple of taller ones too, so that I can kind of fill an entire wall and have like different kind of scenes. And then of course a big nice mirror. My desk, which is not very exciting, but I thought I wanted to point out because of course wheels again for the chair, and then this folds up and I can just pack it away quickly when I need to have extra space in here. And then for the actual cooling situation for my flowers when I have events, so I don't actually do any kind of, well, not very often. I don't really do like orders and wrap bouquets and things like that, so I don't need to keep flowers for longer term. In saying that, I have an air conditioner instead of like a cooler or a fridge. So we just usually shut all the doors to keep it nice and cold in here when we've got events on. And that works really well, especially given the fact that we live in a really like humid, hot environment. But yeah, so I have never actually used a cooler or a fridge. So for me, that's worked really well. If you're doing events, I don't feel like it's an essential, and that's something I get asked a lot. And yeah, heaps of, just moving on underneath the benches, I've got more baskets for just like the essential things that I need to grab quickly, like chicken wire, tape, tools, that kind of thing. And then of course, just little things like stools and everything that I can use to kind of style. Everything kind of has multi-purpose, and I found that that's really essential for having like a smaller space where you kind of can't just store every single thing that you want. And yeah, so that's about it. If you have any questions about any of it, please let me know and I'd love to help you.